a romantic way of beginning a romance with your spouse, because a pillow talk can end in you know what I'm talking about.
Now, pillow talk can be defined as a type of discussion two lovers share with each other emotionally, due to the fact that they have had maybe a result of a hectic day or a result of different things, like just trying to discuss among themselves and emotionally let their guards down. Like, for example, you can just be your babe, just sit down and you guys, you might not be, it might be before or after sex, you might just sit down, relax, then you guys talk about different things. Sometimes it's not something about pillow talk is not always referring to the person being physical. Also, it could also be when you're talking to the person on phone or your bed. At the same time, your partner too is on her own bed, and you guys are talking about different things, about future plans, about memories that you guys had, and also pillow talk doesn't really also refer to just calling. It can also be in chatting, but it is preferable for me that you do pillow talk when you are on the call, so that you know even though you're not seeing her face or anything, you are, at least from her sound and this, you have an idea of what she's all about.
For me, I think pillow talk is that conversation you have in your bedroom, with your lover, your husband, your wife, girlfriend, your boyfriend, So if you have to be on the bed, and the mood is also important. So this conversation that you have, that period, about some sensitive matters, this can be regarded to as pillow talk.
Talking dirty is a bit different. Different in the sense that you are referring to a sexual feeling between both partners. Maybe conji don dey catch you, the thing don dey hook you, and your partner may or may not be interested in having such at that point in time, and you want your partner to know that this is how you are feeling at that point in time. You might not actually need to say, Oji dey catch me, but at least when you're talking dirty, you're saying that this your nyash, if I tap her, like, if I just enter like 2 rounds now, my body could be alright. As in, if I just make I do my own, make your nyash, they be like pillow for my head, make my brain, they bust my brain. That is, now, for me, my own, this in me, like, God knows. Mine, that's for talking dirty.
Talking dirty, talking dirty can happen between two people who are not even in a relationship. It can happen between a guy and another girl. Maybe this guy is trying to have sex with this girl and is talking dirty with her, and saying different things. We have talking dirty is talking dirty, like, you know what I mean.
Okay, talking dirty is somehow related to sex chatting in some ways. Talking dirty is more of talking about sexual or sensual matters, and it's not just touching it in the peripheral, it's really going deep. So talking dirty is basically talking about it's like a sexual conversation with your lover. It's not necessarily have to be in the bedroom. It can even be dirty anytime. It's, that's just it.
The difference between talking dirty and pillow talk. Pillow talk can happen between a pillow talk is more, you're more relaxed when you're having a pillow talk because you're with your spouse. But talking dirty, it's like stolen waters that taste sweeter. You're doing it with someone who you might have sex with, or it may not work. Like you may not talk dirty enough to move this person to have sex with her. But most of the time, they end up in, let me say 70% of the time they end up in sex.
There's quite a lot of difference between the two, you know. Number one, pillow talk necessarily don't have to be about sex. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but it has to be something that is important, that is very close to that between the two of you. So, but it's the kind of conversation that can only be had in the bedroom. Yes, pillow talk is precisely a bedroom talk. It could cover um, sexual issues, yes, maybe finance, maybe future plans, all these kind of things. You can have it, yes. And the mood is very important. You don't talk to me about some matters when I'm not in that mood. So, pillow talk could be before sex, after sex, between the two of them, but it has to be on the bed, and it's a way of really reaching out to each other to get the best from each other, to get the best of attention, the best of conversation between each other. So it's like that. Pillow talk is like that, but talking dirty is not like that. Talking dirty is really about sexual stuffs. You really want to go deep. You really want to be raw with your partner. That's when you talk dirty. You want to call those things by their names with your partner, even though sometimes it could be awkward, but you know, you just have to you want to be free to talk about this, and you can do it physically, you can do it online through chatting with your partner or anyone. You know, that's just the difference.
Talking dirty. The difference is that one is trying to arouse sexual feeling. Also, pillow talk helps in arousing sexual feeling, but that is not its main intention. Meaning that you guys are just talking generally. You're talking about different things that came to your mind, and it allows both of you to connect to a certain mindset or link, or people will say joint vibes. Your vibes are one, that you guys are mentally together. When you hear people are connected mentally, yeah.
Yes, whichever way we want to look at this, I think the two are important for couples and lovers to have, because there will be this time that you really need to discuss something very important with your partner, and that can be done in the bedroom as a pillow talk. You have to wait for that moment when you think your partner is in the best of mood to listen, to respond, to contribute to what you're bringing up, so you can convert such matters depending on how important it is. You can convert it to a pillow talk so that you can get the best of results. So it is important for you to have that conversation, to have a pillow talk with a partner. That one is important. Then talking dirty too, yeah, there'll be this time that you just want to be free, you want to laugh at some stuff, so you want to talk about, oh babe, the last time we had sex, this happened, it was so funny, look at you screaming, when I gave it to you this way, you screamed as if I was already tearing you apart, this kind of stuff. So when you have that kind of thing, you could laugh over it, but you still learn one or two things. Like what I just said, then you can say, oh, I screamed like that. Was it that bad? So maybe next time she just try to, regulate things or vice versa. So the two are important for couples to have.
Well, if we want to look at it from being subjective, for me, I would say pillow talk would be the most important. But if you look at it very, very well, pillow talk and talking dirty are very, very important. Why? Because of just one good reason. It tells the kind of partner you are rolling with. If you have a partner you are doing pillow talk and you cannot really talk to that person dirty, then I don't think this thing would flow. The relationship will flow. Flow in the sense that you would be constrained. It will be like as if they are caging you. It will be like as if you are boring. It will be like as if you are not in as the aspect of pillow talk when you are not even doing pillow talk. When then talking dirty. The guy or the girl will think that this one is always sex. They don't do anything else. That's maybe I want straff, I want naki akpako. That's the only thing. So I think both of them are very, very important. But for me, if you are looking at it from a long-term scenario, then maybe pillow talk is very important. But both of them are very, 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 very important.
The most important between talking dirty and pillow talk for lovers to have, I think it should be the pillow talk, because pillow talk is more honest, it's more truthful, and it's more sincere, because it's taking place between two lovers who are legally involved, or let me say who are proudly involved in their romance.
Well, for me, I think it should be the timing should be perfect. Timing should be perfect in that sense that you, from your discussion with your partner, you should be able to determine whether it was at that good time you can talk to your partner about it. For example, if your partner is the kind of person that has mood swings, I don't think talking dirty or pillow talk might be the best thing at that time. But that does not mean you cannot talk or have one kind of talk with them. That's pillow talk. But if you would have that kind of talk, it has to be well timed. It could be certain environmental factors can be put into place. Like I said, it can be determined by the style of personality the person is, and what time, like maybe what time do you talk to the person? If it's not in the morning, or it's not, if you're even around with the person, maybe you guys are always constantly together. That's if you're good.
So yes, there should be a specific time. They can't have this kind of talk when they are walking on the road. So definitely, it's when they are at the comfort of their romance, at the comfort of their bedroom at night, or whenever it is they want to have that kind of talk.
Like I've said earlier on, you have to study the partner. You have to be sure that the mood is right. When you are angry, you cannot have identity talk. It's impossible. When you are not in a good mood, you cannot have it. Otherwise, you will not get the best result. Don't forget, like I said, pillow talk don't really necessarily have to be about sex. It could be about some other important matters. But because you want your partner to give the best of response, or you want her to listen, you have to wait for that moment in the bedroom, probably after sex, when you know that everything is calm, there is no tension. Now you're having such matters, you discuss it as a pillow talk. So that is just the only thing, just ensure that the mood is right. And also, you cannot talk dirty when the mood is not right as well. When you are angry, when there is tension, you cannot discuss it. So you have to ensure that the atmosphere is conducive for that kind of talk or that kind of conversation. So that's the only thing. There's no space. It could be in the morning, it could be in the time, it could be in the evening, it could be in the midnight. What is important is the mood, the environment. So that's what we can determine whether you should have that kind of conversation or not.
Well, if you don't have this kind of talk, then it means your relationship is not romantic enough, in my own opinion.
Yes, obviously there are, because you may not have things sorted out. It could be an issue that two of you had before, so you can just let it slide for that moment because there is tension. So when you notice that the environment is conducive enough for a conversation, you can bring it up as a pillow talk and you talk about it. So it is important. But the only risk that I think is there is we will have if you want to talk dirty, you have to be sure that your partner is on the same page with you, so that you won't look like you're a ruffian or you are too you're not really decent in your conversation. If you have this kind of a partner that's always serious, that always that is too raw, that is vulgar, this kind of people. So you have to keep this to yourself. Otherwise, if you discuss, if you talk dirty with them, they might look at you like you're a law, that's wrong with you, why are you talking like that? You're a bad girl, you're a bad guy. So that is just a risk that is there. Otherwise, I think it's a good thing to do.
Well, for me, I feel if you're having more pillow talk than talking dirty, depending on the partner, might not necessarily be a disadvantage. And maybe you're the kind of person that is sexy, maybe you be sex addict, maybe you if you do like 4 or 5 rounds, and the kind of person you are dating is not that kind of person. You talking to her dirty might sound like as if you are smash and go. So my best my opinion is that it can be a disadvantage. At the same time, it cannot be an advantage, in the sense that you just know that you cannot have that kind of discussion to the kind of personality whoever you are dating is. That is it. Well, for me, my advice for anyone doing both or doing one and reducing the other, which I feel that it shouldn't be so, but if your personality is more of talking dirty and less pillow talk, well, do it in such a way that doesn't offend your partner. That is my advice for you. Says that don't make it look like as if your partner is just a sex tool. That's my first of this. Now, for the person that is pillow talk, does more pillow talk than dirty talk. If, like for example, the lady that is more of a this thing, say woman, if woman be sex, like maybe she's really like a sex addict and you are doing pillow talk to her, she will see you as Mr. Nice Guy, like this one is more of this thing. But don't but we should bear in mind that pillow talk also leads to the talking dirty, because eventually it can also lead to that process of talking dirty and eventually to the actual knacking and the actual strapping.
If you want to talk dirty, I think you should be careful and know who you're doing that with. And for the pillow talk, I think you should have more of it because it makes your relationship more romantic.
Yeah, the general advice I have people is that know your partner well, and always make use of pillow talk when it is important to discuss something of importance to the two of you. You don't have to bring up all matters when there is tension, when there is tiredness, probably going out in the morning to work and you come back in the night. You came back in the night, you don't expect him to or her to want to have some conversation because of the moment. So you have to study the situation of things very well and bring it up. No matter what the issue is, you can always discuss it when the mood is right in the bedroom. Most likely, this is not just about the bedroom, but it's about the mood. When you think is good enough, you can have a sex talk with him. You can try to talk dirty with him, maybe to ease tension sometimes. But you have to be sure that he's ready to have that kind of conversation, or she's ready to have that kind of conversation. You can need to start a lot of things, and sometimes talking dirty might lead to foreplay, and before you know it, everything can just stick and make it. That's just it. So study your partner, study the environment, study the mood, then you can bring up this conversation. I think it's good for everyone. It's quite healthy, it's healthy.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.